Welcome to Free Your Mind, an experiential daily practice designed to dissolve past programming and expand your awareness of your true self beyond the matrix illusion of fear, lack, and separation. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, close your eyes and let go of all memory and anticipation. Bring your full awareness to the now, this holy instant. The purpose of this practice is to enable you to bring unconditional and unwavering peace with you into any and every circumstance, and to heal distress and turmoil. This is not done through avoidance or seeking a haven of isolation for yourself. You are here to discover that peace is an intrinsic part of you and requires only that you be there in full consciousness to embrace any situation in which you are. And as you practice, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere as you are. Now take one more deep, slow, full breath in. And as you exhale, allow your body and your mind to relax. And let's begin. I am already and always free. This is the central theme that brings together principles 31 through 35 of this series. In today's practice, we will continue to integrate these next 5 principles into a complete and coherent thought system that leads beyond the dream matrix of separation to the realization of oneness and your true self. The thoughts that I entertain within my mind tell me that I am limited, powerless, and at the mercy of a loveless world that I cannot control. I am the victim of my past and bound by the limitations that it imposes on me. The same I see as true for everyone else. But because perception is projection, there is another way of seeing. If I am willing to at least question my identification with the dream character and the thoughts that I hear in my mind as my own, I will open myself to this other way. Beyond the thin veil of the ego thought system of separation is a world where all things conspire for my good, where trust in life is unquestionably warranted, and where love is the only law that has any reality. Let's practice. I am not the victim of the world I see. How can I be the victim of a world which can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened and I can drop them off by merely desiring to do so. The prison door is wide open and I can leave simply by walking out. Nothing holds me in this world. only my wish to stay keeps me a prisoner. I would give up insane wishes and walk into the sunlight at last. Can you remember a time when you made a choice, but when it didn't go your way, you blamed it on someone or something else? This mechanism is active at all times. All of the suffering comes from believing the thoughts of your dream character and taking the thoughts that you hear in your mind as your very own, assuming automatically that they are true and factual and express a true relationship between you and the world. And while it is the thoughts in your mind that actually give rise to the perception that leads to suffering, you tend to blame or attribute responsibility to countless circumstances, people, and conditions for how you feel. All you have to do is to discover that the thoughts you hear in your mind are not your real thoughts. They are just another dimension of the dream itself. It is as if you are in a technologically advanced version of a movie theater, where you not only get to see the movie, but you also get to hear the thoughts of whichever character you want to identify with. When you realize that these private thoughts are not your own, but simply part of the movie, you will no longer base your happiness on them. I am not the victim of the world I see. Over the next minute or so, repeat this idea, contemplate it deeply, and see it clearly. Do this now. I have invented the world I see. I made up the prison in which I see myself. All I need do is recognize this, and I am free. I have deluded myself into believing it is possible to imprison a child of God. I was bitterly mistaken in this belief, which I no longer want. A child of God, the extension of God's own being, must be forever free. In my essence, I am and remain forever as God created me, and not what I would make of myself in my fearful imaginings. I am where God would have me be, and not where I imagine myself a prisoner. Just as your own thoughts cannot have any existence outside of your own mind, so do you have no existence outside of the mind of God where you were conceived. That is where you are now and forever. You cannot leave God's infinite mind, just as your thoughts cannot leave your mind and have their own independent existence apart from you. You are in God's infinite being now, imagining that you are in exile and giving full reality to the contents of your dream, and as a result, you suffer greatly. Yet all along your nature remains unchanged, and you are still as God created you, perfect, immaculate, innocent, and completely one with God. To illustrate this further, imagine a young child playing make-believe. The child is safe at home with his or her parents, and yet in the make-believe story, they are fighting a villain, defending a princess, and really in a place of survival and war and conflict. Now imagine that this same child suddenly forgot his initial identity and has surrendered fully to the belief that he or she is in that world of make-believe, forgetting entirely their original nature. Now, this is the kind of predicament in which you and I find ourselves here, having gone deeply into the game of make-believe, the game of separation, taking on our characters so completely, so fully, that we forgot who we truly are. I have invented the world I see. Over the next minute or so, repeat this idea, contemplate it deeply, and see it clearly. Do this now. There is another way of looking at the world. Since the purpose of the world is not the one that I ascribe to it based on my mistaken belief that my dream character is who I really am, there must be another way of looking at it. I see everything upside down, and my thoughts are the opposite of truth. I see the world as some kind of prison imposing limitations on me. It must be, then, that the world is really a place where I am set free. I would look upon the world now as it is and see it as a place where the children of God find their freedom. Meaning is purpose, and purpose is meaning. The meaning that my dream character's mind offers me shows me a world opposite to God's creation in every way. In this world, God is nowhere to be found. Chaos rules. Sickness, death, and suffering are guaranteed, and peace is some distant hope, bleak and unattainable. Certainly this is not God's gift to you. This is only the distortion of the ego dream matrix veiling the truth from your awareness. As long as you accept it unquestionably, you will see nothing but what the ego dream will show you. The moment you decide to stand apart from it ever so slightly and question the foundation of the ego illusion, another way of seeing opens up to you. There is another way of looking at the world. Over the next minute or so, repeat this idea, contemplate it deeply, and see it clearly. Do this now. I could see peace instead of this. When I see the world as a place of freedom, I will realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules which I made up for it to obey. I will understand that peace, not war, abides in it. And I will perceive that peace also abides in the heart of all those who share this place with me. Beyond the veil of the ego thought system, the world appears to be a very different place. You can see peace instead of what you see now in any and every situation. This is because peace is an intrinsic aspect of who and what you are. And so it is intrinsic to every being, because all beings share in this peace with you, being one with you. In truth, you remain in the mind of God and not in some world of separation. The reason that we call this ego dream matrix an illusion is because it does not exist in truth. Just like someone being hypnotized on a stage to believe that they are in the middle of the Arctic, they become very cold and shiver, and all of their internal experience correlates with this hypnotic spell. And yet, they are on the stage, comfortable and warm, and yet they don't perceive this. This is the experience of all those who are plugged into the ego dream matrix. They are experiencing and seeing what is not there. This is why in any and every moment you have the ability to choose peace. Peace is the ever-present attribute of all creation because it is ever-present in God's infinite being. And so behind every veil, behind every thought of separation, is unwavering, unalterable peace of God. The peace that passes all human understanding. I could see peace instead of this. Over the next minute or so, repeat this idea, contemplate it deeply, and see it clearly. Do this now. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. As I share the peace of God with all beings, I begin to understand that this peace comes from deep within myself. The world I look upon has taken on the light of my forgiveness and shines forgiveness back at me. In this light, I begin to see what my illusions about myself have kept hidden. I begin to understand the holiness of all living things and their oneness with me. To see this way, you must act from the little faith in your holiness that you have developed so far. Your faith in fear has given rise to the world you see through the ego thought system. Your faith in holiness, though small as yet, is mighty in its ability to show you who you really are and to reveal the true nature of every being, every creature, and all of creation as holy. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Over the next minute or so, repeat this idea, contemplate it deeply, and see it clearly. Do this now. As you reach the completion of this practice period, Take a deep, slow, and full breath in. Breathe all the way up to the top and hold it at the top as you hold the intention to integrate these principles into your thought system. And as you exhale, relax and release. And remember to take these principles with you into the rest of your day. Use them in sequence or focus on just one of them that appeals to you most. Repeat it frequently, and when you have the time, take a moment to sit with your eyes closed and contemplate the truth, the thought system that leads you beyond the dream matrix to the realization of oneness and your true self. If you enjoyed and benefited from this practice, please share your experience in the comment section. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to continue the journey. May you be at peace and know your true self.